Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Always great to be here.
So, have you ever wondered why we describe sitting at a modern desk staring at a glowing screen by talking about defending medieval castles? Or like strapping ice skates to our feet?
Right. It's a bit bizarre when you actually think about it.
It really is. And today's deep dive into our source material explores exactly that. It actually comes straight from a SpeakDuo lesson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so for those of you looking to put this kind of vocabulary into practice, you can go to speakduo.com to meet new people from around the world who are practicing English on video calls, to become more confident with their speaking abilities.
It's a fantastic resource, honestly.
Definitely. Now, our mission today is specifically designed for advanced English learners. We are looking at 15 distinct British idioms, all pulled from the classic 1970s BBC series, The Duchess of Duke Street.
And we are moving far beyond just memorizing flashcards today. To truly reach an advanced native-sounding level, you have to grasp the subtle nuances, right? The exact context and the emotional weight behind these phrases.
Exactly. It's not just a translation exercise.
No, not at all. It is about understanding not just what the words mean, but why a native speaker reaches for them instead of a simpler, more literal alternative.
I completely agree. So let's start with a feeling we all know too well, which is the sheer pressure of a hectic workplace.
Oh, yeah. The daily grind.
Right. Imagine the pressure is absolutely on, and you need a phrase that captures that energy. The first idiom we see here is run off your feet.
Run off your feet. Yes.
So the basic definition is being extremely busy, running around, completing tasks. But if I'm learning this, I might think, well, how is this any different from just telling my boss I'm swamped?
It's a great question. And I mean, the difference really lies in the mental imagery.
Okay, imagery.
Yeah, think about what swamped literally means. You are stuck in a swamp.
Oh, like actual mud.
Exactly. You are bogged down by heavy mud, unable to move.
Yeah.
It implies being buried under a static, crushing weight of like paperwork or emails.
Right.
But run off your feet implies constant, exhausting kinetic motion. You are moving so fast, darting from task to task, that it feels as if your feet are literally detaching from the ground.
Oh, wow, that makes so much sense. So if I'm role-playing a conversation with my manager, I wouldn't use it if I've been sitting at my desk all day staring at one massive spreadsheet, right?
No.
I would say, I've been run off my feet with back-to-back meetings all morning because I've been physically rushing from room to room.
Precisely. It communicates a frantic, breathless activity rather than just a heavy workload.
Makes sense. But sometimes even running isn't fast enough, is it?
Nope.
When a deadline is looming and you need to move faster than humanly possible, we hit our next idiom, which is get your skates on.
Get your skates on. I love this one.
Me too. This means to hurry up or take action immediately, but is this just a charming vintage way of saying hurry up?
It actually does way more heavy lifting than hurry up. When you tell someone to hurry up, you're just asking them to increase their current speed,
Right, just walk faster.
Exactly. But get your skates on adds a crucial layer of urgency and physical preparation. Think about the friction of normal shoes versus the glide of ice skates.
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, you are telling someone to actively equip themselves to move at top speed right this second. The action starts now.
So it's about the initiation of the rush. Like, if you're taking the IELTS exam and you get a Part 2 prompt about a time you had to rush, you could say, I had an early flight, so I really had to get my skates on and finish packing.
That's a perfect example. It paints a picture of you actively shifting into high gear. And it shows the examiner you understand that this phrase is about the sudden onset of urgent action.
Awesome. Now, what happens when the person creating all this urgency, like the boss, leaves the office?
Chaos, usually.
Right. You might be told to hold the fort. This means taking responsibility while someone is away. But my instinct here is to ask, isn't that identical to asking a coworker to keep an eye on things?
Not at all. And the metaphor completely gives away why. Keeping an eye on things is a passive observation. You're basically a security camera, just making sure the building doesn't catch fire.
Just sitting there watching.
Pretty much. But holding the fort requires active defense and leadership. A fort is a military position. If you are holding it, you are the commander now.
Oh, I like that.
Right. You are making executive decisions, fending off attacks, or In a modern corporate context, handling aggressive clients and solving real problems while the boss is away.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second. Have you noticed that all of these phrases we've discussed so far, running off your feet, putting on ice skates, defending a literal military fort, they rely on highly active physical metaphors?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're almost combative metaphors, just to describe sending emails and managing modern office stress.
What's fascinating here is that our brains still process workplace stress as a physical threat. These idioms bridge the gap between our modern, very sedentary jobs and our primal evolutionary need for physical action when we are under pressure.
That is wild.
It is. They give our invisible psychological stress a tangible physical shape.
That is such a brilliant way to look at it. But of course, even when you are diligently holding that fort, things inevitably go wrong.
Always. The printer jams, the software crashes.
Exactly. And this brings us to a phrase you'll hear constantly in the UK when trouble strikes, which is spot of bother.
That's but a baller.
It means a small problem or minor difficulty. Now, knowing the British reputation for politeness, when I hear this, I assume the entire building is actually burning down. Am I off base there?
You've hit on the exact cultural nuance, honestly. This is the quintessential British understatement.
I knew it.
Yeah, if you tell a team you have a major crisis, you trigger panic. Admitting to a spot of bother is an intentional de-escalation tool.
Ah, so it calms people down.
Exactly. It actively shrinks the problem down to the size of a tiny spot to keep everyone's blood pressure low.
So if a client asks for a project update and something is broken, you don't say the system is melting down.
No, definitely not.
You say, we had a spot of bother with the laptop keyboard, but a quick fix solved it.
Yes, and doing so conveys immense competence because you appear far too calm to be overwhelmed by the issue.
I love that. But sometimes a spot of bother snowballs into something far more irritating, which brings us to one of my favorite idioms in a pickle.
It's a great one.
It means a difficult, complicated, or slightly embarrassing situation. I just love the visual absurdity of being stuck inside a giant glass jar floating in vinegar.
It's a wonderful image. Linguistically, though, we should compare this to being in trouble.
Okay, how are they different?
Well, in trouble has a moral weight to it. It implies you have broken a rule and an authority figure is going to punish you.
Like being sent to the principal's office.
Right. But in a pickle is entirely situational.
Mm.
It means you are trapped in an awkward logistical mess. There is no moral failing and no punishment, just pure inconvenience.
Like saying, I was in a real pickle when my phone died and I couldn't find my hotel reservation.
Exactly. The universe isn't punishing you. You're just stranded on a sidewalk. It's an inconvenient trap, much like the vegetables stuck in that jar.
But what happens when you try everything to get out of that pickle and literally nothing works?
Well, then you reach our next idiom, which is at one's wit's end.
At one's wit's end. This means completely puzzled, frustrated, and not knowing what to do next.
But is this just another way of saying you are feeling frustrated?
It goes much deeper than just feeling frustrated. Frustration is an emotion you feel while you are actively trying to solve a problem.
Okay.
But at your wit's end means you have reached the absolute terminal limit of your cognitive abilities.
Well, that sounds intense. It is. Your wits are your mental faculties. If you are at the end of them, the road has stopped. You have exhausted every single idea, solution, and ounce of patience in your brain.
It's like total cognitive bankruptcy. So for an IELTS Part 2 response describing a challenging moment, you could say, I was at my wit's end trying to fix the leaky roof before the storm.
That's a great example. You tried the tape, you tried the buckets, you tried the tarp. Nothing worked. The rain is starting, and your brain is just empty. It perfectly communicates that feeling of helpless, utter exhaustion.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Sometimes the obstacle keeping you at your wit's end isn't a leaky roof or a broken laptop.
No, it's usually the people you work with.
Exactly. Let's look at navigating trust and suspicion. We have two idioms in the source material that sound almost identical to me, something fishy and smell a rat.
Right.
Do native speakers use these interchangeably?
They don't, actually. And the distinction between situations and people here is crucial. What's fascinating here is that something fishy describes an intuition about a scenario or an object.
Like a contract or a document.
Exactly. The math on a spreadsheet doesn't add up, or the terms of a contract look a bit strange. It's an ambient bad smell in the room. But smell a rat implies an active, targeted suspicion of a specific person's deceit or betrayal.
Ah, because a rat is a living creature.
Right, actively hiding and sneaking around.
Oh, I see. So you might say, There was something fishy about that invoice, focusing on the document itself.
Yeah.
But you would say, when his story changed for the second time, I started to smell a rat and stopped trusting him.
Exactly. One phrase questions the data, the other phrase questions a person's character.
That makes perfect sense. And when you finally corner that rat and want the truth, you might use our next idiom, spit it out.
Spit it out, very common.
This is a prompt to force someone to say quickly what they are hesitating to say. But frankly, this sounds incredibly rude. Why not just say, please tell me?
You're right to notice the edge to it. Please tell me is polite, patient, and professional. Spit it out is highly informal, impatient, and visceral.
Visceral how?
Well, it operates on the physical metaphor that the words are literally stuck in the person's throat, choking them, and they need to forcefully eject them.
Oh, gross, but effective. So I imagine in a casual chat with a close coworker, you might say he kept hesitating, so I finally said, spit it out, and he told me the truth.
Yeah, that works perfectly. But you absolutely would not say that to your CEO in a board meeting.
No, definitely not, unless you wanted to be quickly packing your bags.
It's a command, not a request.
Got it. So once they finally spit out the truth, we arrive at the next idiom, fall into place.
Fall into place.
This means when confusing details suddenly make sense or fit together. How does this elevate your English compared to just saying something is making sense?
Well, making sense is a blanket term. A single, isolated fact can make sense. But falling into place implies a structural sequence.
Like a puzzle.
Exactly. Think of a complex jigsaw puzzle, or even a game of Tetris. It describes that highly satisfying moment when multiple separate pieces of information align all at once to reveal the complete big picture.
I love that visual. So you might say, after studying for weeks in pure confusion, everything fell into place during the final review.
Precisely. It wasn't just one vocabulary word, it was the entire system connecting in your mind. It highlights a moment of sudden structural clarity.
Now, once all those pieces fall into place, you really start to see the true colors of the personalities in your workplace.
Oh, for sure.
This brings us to some brilliant phrases for describing people. Let's look at gift of the gab. The definition is a natural ability to speak easily, confidently, and persuasively. But couldn't I just say my colleague is very talkative?
This raises an important question about the quality versus the quantity of speech. Talkative simply describes a high word count.
Right, someone can talk all day and not actually say anything.
Exactly. Someone can be incredibly talkative and incredibly annoying at the same time. But the gift of the gab implies charisma, rhythm, and the actual power to persuade people.
Oh, so it's a talent.
Yes, it's a talent for bringing people over to your side, like persuading a board or a team.
Like saying, she has the gift of the gab and effortlessly convinced everyone to join the volunteer project. It's a superpower, not just a vocal habit.
It is, and it's a highly sought-after superpower in any leadership role.
But then you have the dark side of speaking up, which brings us to shout the odds.
Shout the odds.
This means boasting loudly or expressing opinions aggressively. How does this differ from standard bragging?
Well, bragging can actually be quite subtle or even passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
Someone might quietly brag about their new car.
Oh, sure.
But shouting the odds carries an aggressive, dominating energy. It actually originates from betting rings, where bookmakers would loudly shout out betting odds to drown out competitors.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so in a meeting, if someone is shouting the odds, they are actively taking up all the oxygen in the room and creating tension.
Wow. So he loved to shout the odds about his accomplishments at every meeting. We all know that guy.
Well, we definitely do.
And speaking of people we all know, what about airs and graces? This means trying to appear socially superior through fake behavior. So is this just a fancy way to say someone is arrogant?
Arrogance is an internal, deeply held belief. You could be arrogant without saying a single word just by how you view others.
Right. It's a mindset.
Exactly. But airs and graces is a specifically performed theater of superiority.
Like acting.
Yes, it's an act. It's putting on a fake posh accent, name-dropping celebrities, or pretending to be an expert on vintage wine when you aren't.
It's wearing a costume.
Yeah.
So at the dinner party, she put on airs and graces, pretending to know everything about art. It really highlights the inauthenticity.
Exactly. You are judging their performance, not just their ego.
Now, here is a rather harsh one, a layabout.
Oh, this is a strong one.
It refers to a lazy person avoiding work. As an English learner, if I already know the word lazy, why would I bother learning layabout?
Because English has a fascinating way of allowing you to turn a temporary behavior into a permanent identity.
Yeah.
Lazy is an adjective, right? It describes how you are acting right now.
Right.
But calling someone a layabout turns that trait into a noun. It
Mhm.
defines their entire character and existence as someone who simply lies around.
Ouch. So if I say my old housemate was a layabout who left all the chores for me, I'm not just critiquing their actions on a Tuesday.
No, you're fundamentally critiquing their soul.
It is a very comprehensive insult.
It really is.
Finally, we end on a more positive note, defy description. This means something is so unusual or impressive that words cannot fully describe it. But if words can't describe it, why not just use the word indescribable?
Consider the energy of the two words.
Right.
Indescribable is passive. It just means the speaker lacks the vocabulary.
Okay.
But the word defy means to actively resist or fight back.
Oh, like defying gravity.
Exactly. If something
Yeah.
defies description, it is actively fighting against your attempt to label it because it is simply too wild, too colorful, or too complex to be captured by human language.
Like an IELTS Part 2 answer describing a surprising place, the festival landscape was so strange and wild, it defied description. That is a wonderful way to sound highly proficient.
It really proves to the listener that you understand the active, rebellious nature of the word defy.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? It means it is time to test your memory.
I love this part.
We are going to do a quick pop quiz to see how well you've absorbed these nuances, and we'll look at some common traps where people take these idioms a bit too literally.
Get ready.
I will read the question and the options. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer. Are you ready?
Let's see how they do.
Okay, question 1. Which sentence uses the idiomatic phrase gift of the gab correctly based on context? Option A, the highly experienced surprise holiday event coordinator proudly delivered a beautiful gift of the gab.
Option B, the completely confused amateur theater actor unexpectedly managed to quickly drop that yellow cab.
Or option C, because she possesses an undeniable gift of the gab, she effortlessly persuaded our corporate board.
The correct answer is option C. Remember, having the gift of the gab isn't about giving a literal present in a box. It's about charm and the ability to persuade people, just like convincing that corporate board.
Question 2. Select the context where the phrase run off your feet is most appropriately used. Option A, managing that massive international translation convention yesterday left me completely run off my feet.
Option B, the highly athletic marathon runner unfortunately stumbled, causing her to run off her feet.
Or option C, the incredibly clumsy kitchen assistant accidentally managed to quickly drop a heavy sheet today.
The correct answer is option A. To be run off your feet is about being incredibly busy with chaotic tasks. It has absolutely nothing to do with physically stumbling during a literal run.
Question 3. In which situation does someone accurately utilize the advanced phrase in a pickle figuratively? Option A, the highly organic agricultural farmer carefully deposited that crisp green vegetable in a pickle.
Option B, losing my international travel passport right before departure left me completely in a pickle.
Or option C, the completely terrified young playground child unexpectedly managed to quickly drop a heavy brick.
The correct answer is option B. While a farmer might literally put a cucumber in vinegar, being in a pickle, figuratively, means you're trapped in an awkward, difficult situation,
Yeah.
like losing that essential travel pass.
Question 4. Which response best demonstrates the advanced phrase, get your skates on figuratively? Option A, we absolutely must get our skates on if we want to finish this project.
Option B, the professional ice sports team coach explicitly instructed everyone to quickly put their skates on.
Or option C, the incredibly clumsy warehouse inventory clerk accidentally managed to quickly drop those large crates on.
The correct answer is option A. Unless you are literally an ice sports coach, telling someone to get your skates on is a figurative command to hurry up and take urgent action, like rushing to finish a presentation.
Question 5. How would a professional accurately use the phrase fall into place, figuratively? Option A, the careless warehouse assistant accidentally managed to let that heavy wooden pallet fall into place.
Option B, the highly enthusiastic young playground children happily wanted to quickly visit a beautiful face.
Or option C, once we thoroughly structured the operational data, our entire marketing framework beautifully fell into place.
The correct answer is option C. We aren't talking about wooden pallets dropping to the floor. When things fall into place, confusing pieces finally make sense, like reviewing for an exam and understanding the framework.
Question 6. Which scenario perfectly illustrates the meaning of a spot of bother, figuratively? Option A, the clinical dermatologist carefully examined that incredibly unusual dark-colored spot of skin bother.
Option B, our corporate computer network experienced a spot of bother this morning, but works fine now.
Or option C, the completely frustrated old local shipping delivery driver unfortunately accidentally dropped his warm mother.
The correct answer is option B. It's not a literal spot on your skin for a dermatologist to look at. A spot of bother is a British understatement for a minor difficulty, exactly like a broken keyboard or network glitch.
Question 7. Which sentence accurately utilizes the advanced phrase, at one's wit's end? Option A, trying to fix that continuously crashing software development platform left me at my wit's end.
Option B, the highly intelligent university philosophy professor thoroughly analyzed the exact grammatical structure of wit's end.
Or option C, the incredibly clumsy hotel maintenance worker accidentally managed to quickly break that small matching bench.
The correct answer is option A. Being at one's wit's end means complete frustration and a total lack of solutions, just like trying to fix that leaky roof or a continuously crashing platform.
Finally, question 8. Which of the following statements correctly uses hold the fort figuratively? Option A, the Historical Military Reenactment Society carefully instructed actors to securely hold the ancient stone fort.
Option B, while our regional manager attends that international conference, I will happily hold the fort.
Or option C, the incredibly clumsy amateur mechanic unfortunately managed to completely drop that large, heavy iron port.
The correct answer is option B. Unless you are literally an actor at an ancient stone castle, to hold the fort means taking responsibility while someone is away, like covering for a manager at a conference.
Fantastic. If you navigated those literal traps and got the figurative meanings right, you are well on your way to sounding incredibly natural with these advanced phrases.
Absolutely. And, I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought to ponder today.
Oh, let's hear it.
When we use these highly physical idioms in our daily lives, like holding forts, smelling rats, and putting on skates, how does relying on such vivid primal imagery actually change the way our brains process everyday office stress?
Oh, that's deep.
Right. By turning a boring spreadsheet problem into a combative physical metaphor, does it make corporate life feel a little more like an adventure?
Or maybe it just secretly triggers our fight or flight response.
Exactly. Something to think about.
That is an amazing question to chew on. We want to thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the source material. Try using one of these phrases at work tomorrow.